beautiful people. What I'm about to discuss with you now is going to change your life. Today, I'll be mentioning 5 soft skills you need for personal growth and success as a young person. I'll be doing this while I embark on my facial routine. Okay, so let me pull out my glasses. Now, when it comes to using Skin Doctor, this is my sunscreen. When it comes to your personal growth and success as a person, it's very important that you understand that basic principles are essential. One beautiful thing about principles is principles are no respecter of anybody. So far you adopt the principles and you follow it, so you will definitely reap the results of the principle. So it's very important that you take these things I will be discussing with you very seriously. The 5 soft skills I'll be mentioning is emotional intelligence, resilience, diligence, procrastination is different from procrastination, don't worry, I'm going to get to that. And lastly, excellence. So let's take it one step at a time. Now, the first one is emotional intelligence. Unfortunately, we are in a generation that doesn't understand or hasn't really paid so much attention to emotional intelligence, and that is the major reason why you see that in this generation that we are in, a lot of empathy is lagging behind. Leaders are quite selfish, even followers are selfish, and in this period most people are just about what they can gain from the other person, and it's really bad. It's getting bad because emotions are supposed to make us stronger. Emotions are what connects us with ourselves and also with other people. Now when these emotions are not in place, it's a problem. It's a very huge problem, and we don't even see this problem. So I'll be using I like to use my lotion first. Just be using now very little of that. It's my facial lotion. Okay, so it is actually a very huge problem these days because it's more or less like conscience is dead. Now, emotional intelligence is extremely important because even if you want to work in any sphere of life, if you don't have emotional intelligence, then you cannot thrive in them. And what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is your ability to understand your own emotion and the emotions of others. So in other words, without using the word emotions, let me explain it in a clearer term. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand why you do what you do and why others do what they do. So you understand, you see things from your own perspective and you see things from other people's perspective. Take note of the fact that you're seeing things not just from your own perspective, but you're also seeing things from other people's perspective. So they have to be a balance as far as emotional intelligence is all about. So there's no such thing as this is how I do my things, this is who I am, you have to accept me the way I am. Guy, that doesn't work in here. So as far as emotional intelligence is concerned, there need to be a balance in your own emotions and then the emotion of other people. The truth is, if you really want to thrive, you cannot thrive with a selfish mindset. And remember I said that emotional intelligence is not balanced until it's been equated on both sides. So this tells you that if you, I'm using argan oil next. So this tells you that it's so natural and I love it so much. Very, very effective. So this tells you that if you want to say, oh, I don't care, this is my emotion, this is, your emotion is all over the place, there's no how you can go far. And this is very relatable or very applicable to every facet of your life. Let me ask you a question. If you are a boss, would you want to employ someone who has emotional baggages? Of course not. Okay, if you're a husband, or as a husband or as a wife, would you want to have a partner with emotional baggages? Of course not. So literally nobody wants to employ you, nobody wants to be your friend, nobody wants headache, unnecessary headache. So emotional intelligence is very important, because you definitely need to learn how to balance your own emotion and also that of others. So it's so beautiful that then I'm going with coconut oil next. It's so funny that we pay so much attention to every other thing aside from soft skills, and if you don't pay so much attention to your soft skill, you will definitely be lagging in life. So soft skill, emotional intelligence, is very important. You need to learn how to control your emotions. There are certain organizations that have policies that say the moment you get to the gate, you offload your baggages, you offload your negative emotions, and you have to come in with positive energy. You see, an emotional intelligent person doesn't transfer emotions from one person to another, especially bad emotions. So you have an ability to control your emotions. When you are all over the place, you have the ability to control yourself, you have the ability to put yourself together, and you also have the ability to cope with every other person. In another video, I'm going to be focusing on just emotional intelligence, so that I'm going to extensively break it down into simpler bits for you to understand. But on this video, we have 5 points, so I don't want this to be too long. Next point is resilience. Unfortunately, a lot of young minds actually lack resilience, and I say this not to shade anybody, but you all would agree with me that this is nothing but the truth. And resilience is your ability to keep going even when the road seems rough, ability to keep pushing, ability to not give up easily. But unfortunately, we have a lot of people that give up easily. Now let me put it to you. So many of you started a YouTube channel, but you stopped. Or some of you started a YouTube channel, you stopped. Remember that book you picked up this year that you said you were going to read? Why did you stop reading it? Remember that project you said you were going to work on? Why have you not started working on it? Remember that particular thing, that particular goal, that particular habit you said you were going to start. You went to the gym for a few days, but you stopped because of what? You lack resilience. So resilience is actually a very, very important thing that we don't talk so much about, but it is one of the things that it is one thing that makes you different from that person you admire. That person you admire gets to the point where they want to give up, but they don't stop. Even when they give up, they pick up again. But you, on the other end, you want to do this, you want to do that, but it stops at the point of planning, or probably once you feel stuck a bit, you just stop. You wouldn't go again. So that's a sign of lack of resilience. And resilience is very important, even in marriage, in relationship, because nobody is perfect. So you have to work towards ensuring that your goal in the relationship is achieved. So if you find it easy to give up easily at the slight of every challenge that comes your way, then it means that you're not resilient. And if you want to go far in life, if you want to succeed, if you want to experience personal growth, you have to work on resilience. Because see, it's life. There's nobody that does not face challenges. There's nobody that does not face potholes. That's life. Life is full of hustles, and the likes. But there's beauty in those stops. There's beauty in those spots. Only if you can look within. Only if you build thick skin to pull through. So resilience is extremely important. So in every aspect, even as an employer, you wouldn't want to employ somebody who is not resilient, who gives up at every slight opportunity. Entrepreneurs need to develop that thick skin, but that thick skin wasn't developed in a day. Sometimes as employees, you want to work in a place that is already made. That place that is already made, starting from somewhere. So don't always be quick to wanting to run away when you notice that your organization is beginning to experience some roadblocks. It is part of life. Every organization goes through this. Every relationship goes through this. Everyone at one point in time of their life go through this. So Why should you let that stop you? That's the next thing I'm going to mention. Now let's go to the next one. Diligence. You see this one, if you are not diligent, guy, you will be replaceable. And that's one of the things I'm naturally very, very skeptical about. So there's this thing I used to say, that if I am easily replaceable, then it's a problem. And that thing that makes you easily replaceable is lack of diligence. Even the scripture says that, show me a man who is diligent in his work, he will stand before kings and not mere men. Be so good that you become irresistible. Be so diligent that you become a must-have on the train. Be so good at what you do. Know your onion so well that you can close your eyes and name your price. Be so diligent that there will be barely any bad thing to say about you. When it comes to diligence, I'm saying this for personal experience. None of these soft skills are things that I've personally not grown over the years. Now, I've noticed this. I have a personal mantra that if I have to do something, I need to do it in a way that when I'm no longer there, my presence is being felt. So for every position I occupy it well. That scripture says, occupy till I come, right? And it says, be fruitful, multiply, dominate. You have to dominate. Like, see every platform, see every opportunity that comes to your end as, okay, this is my time to shine. The scripture says in Matthew chapter 5 that let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Let your light shine so well. Let your light shine so bright that people will see you and be saying, who trained this person? People will see you and say, who is your mentor? People will see you and say, like, they will want to associate with you. They want to identify with you. They want to say, I worked with that person. That person worked with me. That is my coach. That is my mentor. That is my teacher. That is my friend. Let it be that you are diligent to the point that people can brag with your name. That wherever your name is being mentioned, you not say, but instead you will say, yeah, that's my G. It's very easy for us as humans to want to associate ourselves with people that are doing so well. Then get to that point where you challenge yourself and tell yourself, I want to be that person that everyone will be proud to have in their circle. And this was personal decision I personally made. As I say, this diligence, I must have it to the T. So cross your eye. Let it see. I learned something some years back, and that has really helped me so far. And that thing goes, live your life as though as it is the last. Contribute your quota in a way that if you die today, it will be said that you lived well. Never live with the consciousness like you have every time to make up for your mess. And it will take me to the next point, which is procrastination, which is the opposite of procrastination. The reason why some of you find it very easy to procrastinate is because you still think that there is time. You think that there is still time. But the moment, the day you believe that, you change your orientation and you begin to have the mindset that, what if this is my last opportunity? It will help you stay put together. It will help you reduce how you procrastinate. If you don't want to be a procrastinator, you have to be a procrastinator. And as a procrastinator, you are an action taker. Why procrastinate like you have the whole world? There's something very important that you want to do. Live your life. Take goals as though as it's a do or die affair. I know it is not a do. It might not be a do or die affair, but to you, it should be a do or die affair. Until you see things that way, you would not get up and do what you need to do. Take life seriously. Put in your best into whatever your end's going to do, as though as it's your last. Try to live with zero regret. Reflect on every day of your life, and when you ask yourself, okay, today what are the things I was supposed to do that I didn't do? If you are listing things, if you have to list up to 3 to 5 or more things in a day, then that day was not well spent. Except maybe you had a long list of goals you were going to achieve, and then you actually achieved so many of them. That's understandable. But in the case where you have very few goals to achieve, and at the end of the day you do not even achieve up to half of it or up to quarter of it, it's a problem. Procrastination is a killer of dreams and destiny. You don't want it to stop you in life. If there's anything you need to do, get yourself accountable, list them down, tick it, this one done, this one done, this one done. At the end of each day, ask yourself, why did I not meet up with all these things I set out to do? Why did I not? If there's anybody you need to call, if there's anything you need to do, pen it down and take it one step at a time. One of the challenges procrastinators have is they want to do so many things at the same time. It is very easy. Break it down into simpler bits. Itemize your goals in urgent and then the not urgent, not so urgent, and not urgent at all. Now begin to face them in order of urgency. Take it step by step by step, and start from the smaller bit to the bigger, because sometimes again, if you start with the bigger bit and you don't have a high energy to press on, it's going to be so difficult for you to pull through. But if you start with the ones that will not weigh you so much, and then begin to take it in progression, before you know what happens, you're going to get it done.
I like to strike a balance, because when it comes to procrastination, you need to ensure that you're taking action and the result is still well done. Because one of the challenges of procrastination is sometimes some persons do things at the right time, or even finish the task before the expected end of the duration, right? However, they don't finish it with excellence, and that is extremely important. So you want to ensure that you get the expected outcome and still you finish the task as at when due. So that balance for procrastination is very, very important.
And this takes me to the next point, which is excellence. The beauty of life without excellence. One question I used to ask myself is, can I employ me? And I started asking myself this question starting from when I was in the IA institution as an undergrad. And I would tell myself, I want to be that person that is outstanding. I was I'm ready to pay the price anytime, any day. I want to leave a landmark that would not be forgotten so soon. And this is the kind of mindset that you need to have if you want to really make impact. Somebody who settles for just enough is not an excellent person. Why should you settle for just enough when you can settle for overflow? Why should you settle for good grades when you could settle for excellent grades? Let it be that in your sphere of life, in your career, amongst your co-workers, in your department, in your family, you are known to stand out. And it starts with the simple things in how you carry yourself, your composure, your steeze, your intentionality, your delivery. Let everything be outstanding. Even in your dressing, put in so much effort each day than you did the previous day. And that's just how it is. Put in so much effort each day than you did the previous day. The goal is not to compete with any other person. I don't see anybody. I'm so sorry, but I personally don't have competitors. But I have one competitor, which is not external, it is internal. Myself. My goal is to be better than who I was yesterday. And day by day, this is how I reflect, this is how I review my day, this is how I evaluate myself per time and per season. So get to that point where excellence is your mantra. You should be known as somebody who will not settle for less. That anybody who is working for you will know, if I don't give this woman the best, if I don't give this man the best, if I don't put in my best, I will not be accepted. My service will not be accepted. Let it be said of you by all and sundry that she will not settle for less. Be that person that you can be given a task and the person that gave you the task can go and sleep and say, as far as this person is concerned, I can go and sleep when I give her a task. Or are you that person that when they give you a task, they still need to keep monitoring you to tell you, oh yeah, do it like this, do it like this, do it like this, like every now and then? Let's use our initiative. I read a statistics that says that at the end of the day, we don't use 1/10 of the portion or of the capacity of our brain till we die. So why are you scared to use your brain? Why are you scared to use your brain? There's so much more that you can do than what you're doing now. Get to work. In summary, be resilient. Fight like your life depends on it. The reason why you stopped that project you were banked on, the reason why you stopped pursuing that course you were pursuing, the reason why you stopped that certification you were pursuing, the reason why you stopped embarking on that goal, the reason why you stopped chasing that thing, that dream, that vision that you were chasing is because you felt like you still have all the time in the world. My darling, you don't have all the time in the world. Push forward. I am not saying there won't be challenges, but the truth is, even Dangote faces challenges. But does it let it stop him? No, it doesn't. That person you admire, Elon Musk, faced challenges, in case you don't know. But does it let it stop him? Of course it doesn't. So what will make you different from who you used to be is your ability to be resilient, ability to fight through. You're a fighter, you're a warrior, you have the capacity, but not until you push it out, not until you push yourself beyond your status quo, not until you challenge that inner ability you have in you, you will keep seeing reasons why you should not do what you ought to do. Don't compromise your excellence. Be emotionally intelligent. Don't be selfish-minded. Be empathetic. See things from people's perspective. That's how to communicate better. That's how to live a life of relevance, a life of importance, with people in it. You can't live alone. Funniest part is God did not create you on this earth alone. Why? Because you need me, you need every other person. You need beyond yourself to thrive on earth. So no one can thrive alone. So you need others, and for you to cope effectively with others, you need emotional intelligence. Try to see things from the lens of others. Try to see things from the perspective of others. Don't always be selfish-minded. Have a mindset of service to God and service to humanity. We live to serve each other, and that's the funniest truth. Even the person you buy from is serving you. You giving the person money, you are serving the person. So we need to serve each other. The day you stop serving is the day you start isolating yourself, and it's the day you start dying. Put in diligence in whatever you inspire to do. There's this scripture I love so much that says, whatever you inspire to do, do it all thy mind, for there is no work, nor wisdom, nor knowledge in the grave where you are going to. So you see the device that we're using, it hands here on earth. You see the knowledge, you see the intellect, you see the value, you see the experience. All these things you have is needed to be used here on earth. So why procrastinate? Get to use them. People, souls, lives are attached to your rising. Stop sleeping. Arise and use the ability that God has invested in you. The time for you to start up to do those things that have been invested in you is now. Get started. Cheers.